This book was originally going to be called Backyard Anatomy because it was supposed to be all the nature you find in your backyard. But then, I don't know, somewhere along the line we changed it to just nature. After doing farm anatomy, oh man, I had done all that research myself. I was doing the writing myself, the drawing, the layouts, all of it. I was burnt out. I said, hey, I need help. Can I get somebody who kind of helps write the books? Because that's the part that I'm not good at. We looked for somebody who would be able to do all the research and sort of help me write and craft all the little bits of facts and the little paragraphs you see everywhere. We wound up using a friend of a friend I know, John Niekrantz, and we did it over Google Doc. Basically, how it started was I make something what I call a book map. So I draw little boxes with a line down the middle to represent a one spread of a book. And I would write inside of each of the little boxes what I thought should be on the page. So thinking about it, planning the whole book out. We know there's 224 pages. So figuring out what goes on every single page. That's what I sent to John for him to get started. So he knew, okay, it's going to be a page about beetles. And so he would look up all this information and give me a whole bunch of facts about different kinds of beetles. Sometimes he'd attach pictures, and then I would choose the content that I thought would work on the page. He always gave me more than I needed, which was wonderful. He also kept me on track because I am always late on my deadlines for these books, and it always takes so much longer than you think. So much longer. From when I did my first anatomy book to now is a lot of years. 11 years. A lot happens in 11 years. You get married and divorced. One of the things that happens is that you get better. Your style changes. You decide to make different choices with how you paint or what colors you use or how your line is. And I feel like I did change. I did lose a lot of the line in my work, and I try to be more painterly. But because I did this first book looking this certain way, the farm anatomy book, I felt like I couldn't change the style. And so I'm still doing them the same way I was doing them in the beginning, which is weird because you feel like, oh, this isn't really me anymore, but I got to keep them consistent. As far as the fonts go, I used to do my handwriting and have script fonts throughout it as little call-outs. And the one thing people complain about, all my negative reviews are about how my handwriting looks like a doctor's handwriting. Like somebody literally said, what is this, a doctor's handwriting? Nobody can read it. Oh, this isn't for kids. There's no script anymore in schools. Oh, this is just scribble. I think my script is nice, and I like having script in the books. But that has been the biggest complaint about these books. So I got rid of that script. So people are always like, how long does a book like this take? Or how are you working on this when you're working on so many other things? And the answer to that is the editor gives you a schedule, and you're supposed to follow that schedule. And I have a long time, so I don't know, start to finish is probably a year. But there's deadlines along the way. And there's such faraway deadlines that you don't, it's good to keep on a schedule, but you don't have to do it all right away. So if I got an editorial job, if I'm working on Scratch or something that has a deadline, I'm working on that right away. But then you don't get something for a few days, or you have some downtime, you could be drawing animals. Especially watching TV at night. I don't watch TV and just watch TV anymore. I'm always drawing while I'm watching TV. Even if I'm not drawing a book, I'm drawing Ollie or something. It's hard for me to, maybe it's, I don't know, an attention thing, but I have a hard time focusing on just one thing I want to be drawing at the same time. And I use, for drawing animals, I use Wiki Commons a lot because these are photos of animals that you are allowed to draw from because they are royalty free. I think that when I draw a drawing from looking at a photo, it really doesn't look enough like the photo for somebody to sue me. But I want to be respectful of the photographers because that's their art too, and not just sort of copy the same exact pose of an animal or the same exact cluster of branches or something. So you try to use stock imagery to draw from when you can, as much as you can. If you don't, you try to look at a lot of pictures at once and change things slightly so it's not direct replica of a photograph. Each time you do a book, you learn more and more. So after doing Farm Anatomy, I learned that if I have a writer to help me, and if I have somebody to assist me in painting, all of this will go a lot faster. They still take a really long time to make. I will say my mom, I was in a bind. I was in a bind finishing Nature Anatomy, and I was doing it on a vacation I had with my parents in Maine when we go up to a cabin every year. And I was so late that my mom was painting the animals side by side with me, which is really memorable and sweet, and I'll never forget that.